a little sports, a little life.
Look at the size of that crow. He's huge.
A lot Saskatchewan. This is the Bunnyhug Podcast with Grant Dick and Jason Blank.
Well, it's been a little while. You know, we kind of like to take these delays just so that people are really excited when they get a new episode that pops into their inbox saying that the Bunnyhug Podcast is back. G, how are you, brother? Good to see you, man.
I'm doing good. It's good to see you as well. Yeah, I like to think of it in a way, you know, if you're selling something on the web or you're selling something, you gather a whole bunch of things and sell it at once, and then you don't sell things for a long time. That's like our podcast.
Yeah, we're like Facebook Marketplace.
Yes, exactly. We're gathering, letting things happen in the world, and then we're going to talk about it.
Exactly, you know, and also it just matter of you and I are extremely busy, because why not? We have to be, because we're that much in demand. People love us that much that people say, sorry, you can't do your podcast. We need you other places.
Exactly. That's right.
It's wrong. It's wrong in so many ways, but that's okay.
Well, I think the actual problem is that we don't know how to say no. That's the problem.
That could be the issue right there. Let's talk some NHL playoffs. I think we got to start there. So me, of course, being now here in Alberta, you can't tell by the background because
no.
This is my little piece of Saskatchewan in Alberta. But it was, as a Flames fan, it was very, very difficult over these last couple weeks because, again, you know, there is so many people that are saying, oh, we just need the Cup to come back to Canada. We just got to get it to come back to Canada. But then it's the Oilers that are playing for it. And there is no way, that I can put my rah behind the Edmonton Oilers. You can't.
It's easier for me than it is for you, I think. You know, I don't know exactly when it happened. I think I figured it out over the weekend, though.
Okay.
So my theory is that I hate dynasties.
Yes.
Right. So I hated the Oilers back in the 80s.
Yeah.
I don't hate them so much anymore. I hated the Montreal Canadiens. I still hate the Montreal Canadiens. They were a dynasty. They won too many Stanley Cups. They don't need anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. And they're the one. And you know what really pisses me off too is they keep reminding us now they're the last team to win a Stanley Cup in Canada, right?
Yeah. I said, just let those fuckers separate. You know.
Now that's spoken like a Saskatchewan kid right there, hey.
Yeah.
Anyways, I digress.
But it was the same. It's the same in football. I mean, I hated the Patriots. You know. Yeah. Of course, all these teams that I hate are direct rivals with my teams.
Of course.
You know, right? So, you know, the Dolphins always play in the same division as the Patriots.
Yeah.
Flames played in the same division as the Oilers. So yeah, maybe it's not just the dynasties. Maybe it is my rivals, but I feel this is why I can like some of those teams after the fact when they're not dynasties anymore.
So your classic, I would say Florida is a dynasty. Tampa Bay was a dynasty. So, you know, and we'll always hate Tampa Bay. I'm sorry. The Lightning, we have to hate them as Flames fans because we have to hate them. And
because
the Oilers,
it was it.
Yeah, it was it. Exactly. It was it. Yeah, Oilers fans, you know, they've got a lot of teams to hate because they've got to hate Carolina from back in 2006. And now they have to hate the Panthers for 2 years. And they really... sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say they hate the Stars because they played the Stars so many times in the Western Final. They played them, you know, back in the 90s, and then now again they seem to be playing them every year as well.
Yeah. So then the Stars, and then of course Matthew Tkachuk. They hate him extremely, and Sam Bennett now. They really don't like Sam Bennett either. Yeah. So, but yeah, it was really tough because you know, I was feeling the pressure here in here in Alberta because. You know, there's so many Oilers fans that are actually based here in Drumheller. Like, Drumheller's almost split 50-50 with Oilers and Flames fans. So lots of Oilers fans were saying, it doesn't hurt. You can come over to the dark side. It doesn't hurt. It won't burn. It won't. No, it burnt. It just no. You just can't do it.
You should have seen this kid when we were in Edmonton when I went to the Flames and Oilers. Me and Olivia went with her man Ben, and we're sitting there, and there's this little Oilers fan like 3 or 4 seats away. Like, I bet you he couldn't talk for like 3 weeks because he was in our face about being like, because we just kept saying, "Go Flames, go!"
Yeah,
and he's like, "Oh, let's go!" He was just yelling at us.
But and that's the other side of it too. Like, I see there was a like this series, because I went to Vegas during the series, and I went and watched the Oilers play Las Vegas in round number 2, and I still couldn't cheer for the Oilers. Like, I actually have new Vegas gear now.
Because, you're a Knights fan.
Yes. No, I'm not, but I have it because I couldn't, I can't wear Oilers gear, and I couldn't cheer for them. So, I'm okay with Florida winning, but then now you're talking the dynasties, and now I can see that too. And I don't know if I'm not happy that Florida won, but I'm happier that Edmonton didn't win, because us as Flames fans, we would have just heard it until we would win, which I'm hoping with Dustin Wolf we can do it maybe this year, because
and we signed Kirkland for $900,000.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah,
we own Costco now.
Yeah, we own Costco. Yeah, we'll get the shootout wins because he's good at the shootout. So we'll get the shootout wins this year.
Exactly. So we got Kirkland and Wolf and So yeah, things look good in the Flames world, kind of, but I don't know, and it's really tough too because you've got to appreciate Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Yeah. Like, you have to. They are by far, I would say, the 2 best hockey players that are playing hockey at this time, bar none, right? So, why do they have to play in Edmonton though? Like if they were the only place that it would hurt me more. There's 2 other places. If they were in Montreal or Toronto, that would hurt even more. I think maybe not as much. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the thing about it, like, Montreal would hurt for me. Toronto, they're going to lose in the playoffs anyway. So it's really, there's no hope, right? No.
Well, especially if Brad Marchand plays against him.
Yeah, exactly. He's a Leaf killer.
He is a Leaf killer, and now he's an Oiler killer too. There you go.
Yeah.
So the Flames should make sure that to send a thank you note to Brad Marchand. Maybe
that's probably a good idea. They should buy him a bottle of whiskey or something.
Yeah, something. Yeah. Give him a cowboy hat. Yeah. Well, if he comes to Calgary, we'll white hat him. There we go. How's that sound?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Come for the Stampede. That's right.
All right. Well, we're getting into free agency now, and so we're Rider fans, so we're the eternal optimists. So the Flames look like they're going to win the Stanley Cup next year. Hey,
I believe so. Right. Although it scared me. I was looking at an ad on Facebook. Well, not an ad, but a news article on Facebook, and there was a picture of Kadri, and they were talking about Rasmus Anderson. So they were talking about Anderson leaving the Flames. So he wants to go on free agency. But there's a picture of Kadri, and I'm like, we can't lose Kadri. Kadri's our soul, right? He's our soul. He's the guy that everybody's gonna follow. Like, he was good this year. So
it's funny because when we got Kadri, I was not bought. Like, I was not a Kadri fan.
Me.
But now,
me either.
Yeah, now I'm like, okay, I bought the Kool-Aid. Yeah. I can see Kadri.
I get it.
Yeah, and Kadri, Huberdeau, like, they worked fairly well in tandem together. So yeah, I'm in. Let's go. We got to keep them here. So, and Rasmus Anderson's got to stay here too. I don't know how the Flames are going to do it, but they've got to do it.
Yeah, I think Anderson's probably going to leave. Yeah. I don't know why, but I've got that feeling. But that'll free up some cap space for us, and we can get Bouchard and send him down from Edmonton.
Oh, God. That's you can't do that, unfortunately. Like, we brought in. There's many times where the Flames and the Oilers have made deals and brought in a player from the other team, and it just doesn't work out for either team.
Never. Like, it just doesn't.
Grant Fuhr, respect Grant Fuhr 100%, but when he became a Flame,
you forget that he became a Flame. Like,
I know.
It just
exactly. Right.
He didn't do anything good.
That was his impact. Nothing. So And then we've sent a couple goaltenders their way, and they can't do anything there. So, what is it with the Flames and Oilers trading goaltenders? Maybe that's the problem.
That could be a problem, and they better not. They better not take Wolf.
No, not Wolf. But we'll see if who should they pull out of retirement, because that's what the Oilers like to do too. They like to get these goaltenders that are like 1 year just before they're ready to go to the old man's home or whatever, the nursing home. They like to pull them out. Yeah. So
they'll get Roberto Luongo instead.
Markstrom. They'll break up Markstrom. Yeah, Markstrom from New Jersey. That's where they'll grab. Yeah, they'll get up Markstrom, and he'll be the savior, and they'll go to the West Final and lose.
They keep talking about that in the Oilers locker room. They need this goaltender. Maybe not in the locker room, but they need it. They talk about it on the Sportsnet or TS.
Well, honestly, I think that's what they're missing. That's the only piece of the puzzle they're missing is a goaltender, and unfortunately, you would bring the Leafs in too. That's what the Leafs are missing. You need to have that star goaltender, and you think of all these teams that have had success. Florida, Tampa Bay. What are you talking about? Like, you're talking about their goaltenders, right? Yeah. Because your goaltender has to steal you a game in the playoffs, and that's what didn't happen for the Oilers this year. Again, last year, same thing. So, and that's where I'm so happy the Flames have done well drafting goaltenders and working them through the system, through the Wranglers and stuff like that, because you can build around Dustin Wolf. You can, So,
he's gonna have your back when you need it most. Yeah. He showed it last year.
Yeah. All right, let's switch gears. Let's talk some Rough Rider football. Considering I'm in like the Rough Rider office, my studio down here. So we're sitting at 3-0. 3-0 for our Rough Riders.
It's
I know, right?
It's weird, and I think I'm bad luck because I couldn't watch the first two games because I was traveling.
Yeah. So
unfortunately, either you watch Trump in the States or nothing. Right? That's pretty much it. Right?
That's it right now.
Even I think ESPN covers Trump for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Well, they've got a bureau chief in Washington, right? So you got to use them.
Yeah. So, but then I got back from golf this last game, and I just caught the last 6 minutes of the game, and what happened?
I know.
They tie it up. I'm like, oh shit, this is my fault.
It's funny because I'm talking one of my other podcasts. We were talking about conspiracy theories and get into sports superstition. I've talked about that on my show, and there's so many superstitions when it comes to us watching Riders games. Like, I know I thought I was the one to blame because I was in Orange. I forgot it was Rider game day, and I was at work, and I went to, because I go to work at like 4:30 in the morning. Yeah. So I get dressed, whatever's clean, I just throw on.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't change my shirt to Rider green because it was game day. And and I'm like, it's me. So I thought it was me too. And we pulled out the win. Alfred, I think, is there a statue going up next week?
Yeah. I mean, is that the first time we've ran one back in like the last 20 years? Like I don't remember.
Alfred he's the man. Like I tell you, he is like, how many times has he done that this last 2 seasons? Right. So yeah, we don't need to have offense. We just need to play our special teams. Like,
just special teams.
Tune out. That's fine. And then the special teams comes in. All right, we got this game.
We got this right where we want them.
Well, it was funny because the analyst from TSN, he's their NFL analyst, but he went off on the CFL because of that game. And he says, because he loves the NFL and he's I'm not sure if he's anti-CFL, but he played, I can't think of his name. He played for Seattle.
Luke Wilson.
Thank you. Luke Wilson. Yeah. So, and he just went off and he says, this is why the CFL can't get its fans and all this other stuff. I think that's why we enjoy the game so much because you miss a field goal, you should still get something. You kick it through the end zone. I think that's a point because the field goal posts are in the front of the end zone. So if you take all that effort to kick it through. Sure, I love the Rouge. I've always been a fan of the Rouge. And then, to have it run back, like, that just adds that much more excitement to the game anyways.
Yeah.
Like, Saskatchewan might not be the 3-0 team that we think they are, because we're Rider fans. Right. We believe they're the best. But they're right now in first place.
Yeah. That's like it, and it comes down to playoff time, and if you have home field advantage at Mosaic Stadium, it's a different atmosphere. It is different. It's a different game.
Yeah. Well, it was funny. I was watching the Stampeder Ottawa game this weekend on Saturday. So this is when we got our big rain here, and I think I counted about 200 people in the stands because it was like 5 degrees and pouring rain, and out to go watch the Stampeders, and the Stamps lost. Like, you've got and they couldn't throw a touchdown for the life of them in that game because, again, the ball was slippery, it was wet. Ottawa did, and that was the difference in the game, was the one touchdown. Yeah. So, but that's part of football that I love too, is the elements, right? It's, when you play in CFL in November and it's minus 20 and, the football's frozen, and that's what makes it interesting. I think that's why us CFL fans love Green Bay so much.
Yeah, I do think so. It's that same feeling. It feels like a Saskatchewan team. Yeah, it totally does. Yeah, but
we don't love Chicago as much, which is weird.
No. Maybe they were a dynasty at one point. That's probably why.
That's probably it. Yeah. So you were, so we talk about the rain that we got here. Like, we got a whole bunch of rain here, and it was funny leading up to the rain. I heard there was warnings in Saskatchewan, like the ferries had to be taken out off the South Saskatchewan River, and the Saskatoon's worried about water, and Moose Jaw and Regina are worried about water because we're not sending any your way because we need it all here. I put the dam up here in Drumheller, and that's why, yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, we let the dam go because, holy smokes, I drove across the bridge here in Drum today, and the river is like high. So we're sending all that water for you guys, so you guys can now, water your lawns again.
Oh, that's so good. My lawn needs it. It's a desert out there.
It is.
It's so weird because there was lots of storms here in Saskatchewan too, but nothing really came to my house. We had rain on Saturday, and it rained all day.
Yeah,
but that was it. But it was tornadoes everywhere else.
Like, it was weird to watch because south of Moose Jaw, north of Moose Jaw, east of Moose Jaw, tornadoes everywhere. They had like 7 tornadoes on Saturday, and none of them hit near Moose Jaw.
Well, it's because they knew that I put up an awning on my deck, and it said, you know what? Let Grant enjoy this at least for like 1 week. Don't blow it down.
Yeah, right. Like, that's the awning companies must love living in Saskatchewan, right? They sell you one, and they're like, "Yeah, go ahead, put it up. You can do it. Yeah, just put it up."
Yeah, it can withstand 30 kilometers winds. So I said, what about 90?
And that's like, I remember growing up in Swift, right? Because that was Swiftgrid all the time. We would get those winds from Alberta, and it would just blow, and so if you had an awning, it was gone. So so you've got a weekend now. So I think, is the warranty good for 2 weeks that they give you a warranty now?
Maybe like 2 weeks. I didn't read the fine print. It probably says, unless you live in Saskatchewan, warranty is null and void.
Exactly right. Us here too, though, man. Like, it's been weird. Growing up, we used to get a lot of wind in Swift. Always did.
Yeah.
But here, like, I tell you now, we're getting like at least a windy day at least once a week now. So it makes me feel like home.
You're like the new Lethbridge.
Yeah. And Lethbridge is worse. Like, Lethbridge, every day it's just 100. Like, if you don't have something nailed down in Lethbridge, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's in Medicine Hat before you know it.
All the time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it used to just be in, like, the summer. But no, now it's, like, every day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Crow's Nest Pass there's no nest anymore.
No,
just Crow's Pass.
It's just Crow's Pass. Yeah, the nest is gone. It's blown. Yeah, it's out of there. But so with this water now, I hear you're heading up for vacation to beautiful Buffalo Pound Lake.
It's beautiful for one day a year,
Yeah.
and then the algae kicks in, and then it's green.
And that's what really drives me nuts about that lake, because you got that algae so bad, and that's where the water for Moose Jaw's and Regina comes from, is Buffalo Pound, right? Yeah. So it's a beautiful, nice, beautiful tinge of green. Yeah, and then that's how you get that flavor for the Moose Jaw water too, though.
That's right.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why it has its flavor.
Yeah.
It is, but it's good. I don't know what they do at that treatment plant, but I'm not dead yet. So.
No, exactly. Heavily fluoridated. They've taken all the iron out. So that's impressive, because I was trying to explain Moose Jaw water to my daughter Chloe, and it's really tough to explain, because she's all about she's drinking the Evian water now. Like, oh yeah,
she's fancy.
Yeah, so it's driving me crazy, because she wants to spend $2.50 on a bottle of water when the tap's just as good. And she's like, no, Dad, it tastes different. I said, you haven't tasted water until you go back to Saskatchewan.
Yeah, we'll go get her to drink out of the slough at Tammy and Shane's.
Well, it was funny, because the other day we were in the backyard, and of course, when we were growing up, if we didn't have water out of the hose, it wasn't a summer. Like,
yeah. I don't think I would do it anymore, but that's all I drank it so much as a kid.
I would. There's no doubt about it. I would, and the hose I've had here, I think I've had this hose for like 25 years. So it's getting to that really good flavor.
I did do something the other day, though. Yes, I did drink it out of the, not out of the hose directly, but I had to put some water in my battery so it would hold a charge for my trailer, right?
Yeah.
And there was water left over that I didn't dump into the battery, so then I drank it. So I guess I will say that I did.
Well, see, here I'm going to take you back. Remember Waldeck, when they had we didn't actually have fire hydrants. We had like these valves that, and we could turn them on at any time, and we drank that water like nothing. Like, and that was, So, and we're still alive.
That's true, and it probably even said on there, not potable water, right? It probably had a sign on there, but we didn't know what potable,
Waldeck doesn't know what potable water is. Like, I remember we didn't wear white clothes for a number of years because we couldn't.
Because you couldn't.
They were yellow.
What just thought of is that, you remember Thrills gum?
Yeah.
And how it tasted like soap. I'm like, those two things, like the Waldeck water and the Thrills gum, could have been something that was together, because I remember the Waldeck water have a little soap taste to it.
I just remember it's like chewing on a copper penny.
Oh yeah.
Like, I never had to worry about my iron levels when I lived in Waldeck, ever. Like, if you didn't have iron, you weren't drinking the water. And there was never any concern when we were growing up. Like, there was no such thing as bottled water when we were kids.
No.
So like there was Perrier, I think.
Yeah,
I don't remember ever seeing it though.
No. It was in the stores, but and then if you ever tasted it, it tasted like shit back then. Like,
exactly right.
Like, why would I ever drink this crap? Yeah. Those French don't know what. The French have no idea what water's supposed to taste like.
And it wasn't like the Perrier was coming to the Waldeck store anytime soon.
No, that's true.
Yeah, Gould's wasn't carrying Perrier for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I wish my daughter would know and understand, like how small town we were. Like, we were like super small town, right? And, but it was like nothing. We would walk across like the main line of the CPR. Trains would be going by every 20 minutes or whatever. We put our lives in danger just to go to the store to get a pop at Gould's, which was on the other side of town, right beside the Trans-Canada Highway that nobody could see, because the trains were always in the way.
It made no sense.
No.
Right?
And like we would let our kids do that now.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't even go out of the front yard, right?
Well, just a moment ago. That's why I was delayed getting started tonight, because Chloe was going over to my parents', which is a block away from the house. And my mom calls and she's like, yeah, she's not here. I'm like, well, where'd she go? So I'm outside trying to find her. And then she hollers down, yeah, I'm here, Dad. I'm like,
Jeez.
But yeah, before when we were kids, if we would just disappear, and as long as you were home for supper.
Speaking about that, like this was a few years ago now, but it was Buffalo Pound. Same weekend, we go camping there all July 1st all the time. Gabby, Brad's kid, 3 years old.
Yep.
She gone missing. We have no idea where she is.
Yeah.
She was fucking hiding behind the fucking camper on purpose,
yeah.
playing a fucking joke on us. At 3 years old, playing a joke on us. I was like, you son of a bitch.
Well, and that's it, right? And we're freaking out nowadays. Like, it's amazing. I guess we see a lot more stuff, and there's a lot more things happening. But yeah, like, if we didn't go off by ourselves, like we used to go miles out of town in Waldeck, and by the creek and whatever. Mom's like, just don't drown. I'm like, okay.
That was it. Just don't drown.
Yeah.
But we, the only thing that we had for Dateline at that time was a back of a milk cart, and it showed one kid that you don't know. So
all it showed was the Vico. That's it. We didn't even drink the white milk. It was just the Vico.
No,
and they never put the kid's picture on the Vico.
No. That's bad though, because they should have.
Exactly.
Right? That's how they enhanced or enticed the kid to get into the van. That's hey, do you want some Vico? How about some beep?
Yeah.
Do you want some grape drink or raspberry drink?
Raspberry drink.
Drink, yeah. That's not juice. What the fuck is juice?
I have no idea what it was, but it was delicious. Whatever it was just pure sugar.
It was just sugar. Yeah.
But man, oh man, could I ever use a glass of that right now?
Oh, I know. That's my diabetes is saying yes. You need that right now. Yeah.
I know. Well, and so we're like the generation that got addicted to all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I found that I've really tried to limit my Coca-Cola consumption, which has been hard for me.
Do you drink the Coke Zero? Or you just
I've tried it.
Yeah.
It's not right though. It's just not right.
I'm addicted to the this cherry Pepsi Zero.
Oh, yeah. You're the big city folks. See, we never had Pepsi when we were kids. We always had to come to your place in Moose Jaw to get that Pepsi stuff.
Yeah. It's so good. Yeah. Pepsi is my favorite.
Yeah. I know. And it always was too. I remember growing up as kids, we always had Coke. You guys always had Pepsi. And I can still see the Pepsi bottles in your basement with the Pick-a-Pop, right beside the Pick-a-Pop bottles.
Right beside the Pick-a-Pop bottle. Yes. Pick-a-Pop.
Yeah, I think that's why we do these podcasts too, is so that we could just bring up all of our memories. And what I love is our stories never get old.
No, they do not.
To us.
They may to other people, but it's not for other people. Yeah. This is for us.
Well, we kind of are doing it for other people, but they can live vicariously through us. And,
that's true.
And I'm hoping that they're enjoying this because, like our stories, we can tell the same stories all the time. And it probably drives our kids absolutely nuts. Because I guess we're at that age now, Grant, where we actually are probably repeating ourselves lots. Now,
the thing about our conversations, though, is that, yes, we may repeat stories. There's always a tangent that's new. It's going to go off in some other direction that we never expected it to go.
Yeah.
That's what happens every time, right? You could talk about Chittick Lake just like you did last time. However, this time you're talking about the golf course. This time you're talking about Pelican Beach. This time there's always different things that you're going to talk about when you go through.
Well, it's funny because on my social media, I still follow Chittick Lake. Because our cousin Pauline and Brent, they still post about what's happening up there. And they post all these pictures of these nice cabins. And man, oh man, like if we had money back then, man, we should have bought a cabin at Chittick Lake.
Right? We should have bought
Chittick Lake.
Well, yeah, because I think we could have bought that house that she had for like $10,000.
I know,
right?
And now it's selling for like $150,000-$200,000.
Yeah,
in Chittick Lake.
It would have been a good investment. Yeah. When we went to Kay's funeral there, that house that we stayed in, you were there, right? Yeah, that was probably $1 million property.
I know, and that's what's scary because. Yeah, like you think of all the opportunities. Like I remember back when we were kids, we were looking at buying something at Beaver Flat, and that's right along the river. And I think at the time it was like $20,000, and I was like, oh, that's a little bit steep. It's a little bit steep. Now it's like worth like $200,000, and you're like, I just got sick to my stomach a little bit because
right.
Just...
my RSPs are not doing that good.
No. Well, yeah, I don't look at mine just because it hurts too much.
It hurts. I'll look at it again in 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah, and we'll see where we are after that. Yeah, it should be interesting. But
right.
I love when we do this, man, just because it's just all we do is laugh throughout. Like we've recorded 30 minutes of laughter.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
that's right.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Speaking of laughter, I have 2 jokes that I want to tell you.
All right, let's hear them.
All right. So, well, actually, I have 2 jokes and 1 comment. The one comment kind of blew my mind.
Okay.
So I'll get into. So, what do you call when little blue pill doesn't work? What do you call it?
I don't know. What do you call it?
Viagra Falls.
Yeah, I like it. I like it when it's true. So, yeah, that's true.
Because that's very true.
Exactly.
And it's one of those things that you're just in a moment. You hear something about Niagara Falls, but at the same time, there's a ad on your phone that says, do you want to take ED medication? so they're like,
that's just your phone, Grant.
That's just my phone. Okay, that's what it is. That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
Give me your next one, man.
So the next one is just, I want to put a new word in the Urban Dictionary, and they're no longer called porn stars. They are skinfluencers. Because that's the day and age right now. It's influencers. Well, porn stars should be called skinfluencers. It's a little more respectable for them.
I think, yeah, it's I like the new title change. I think, it sounds classy.
It sounds classy. I wouldn't feel so bad telling my children I am a skinfluencer, but I feel bad telling them I'm a porn star, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd still have a problem telling anyone that I'm a skinfluencer.
That's fair.
All right, what's your last statement now? I want to hear this.
Okay. So this has to do with the speed of light.
Okay.
Right now, when you're sitting on your couch, your feet are up, you're resting, and you're telling your toes to move. Is your neurons faster than the speed of light, or because you're watching them move at the same time you're telling them to move? So the speed of light to get to your toes and the neurons that are traveling there, which is faster, right? And so
wow,
this is blowing my mind.
Wow. Yeah. I guess it would be it have to be maybe.
It's such an instantaneous thing that you won't notice the difference. But I bet you Albert Einstein could have a conversation with me and say, listen, speed of light's faster. It just looks like your neurons are faster than the speed of light. But how do you know?
Exactly.
How do you know? You're not in there like measuring the speed of my neurons.
So you know what everybody's going to do now? They're going to be listening to this, and what are they going to do? They're going to put their feet up on the cocktail, and they're totally going to do it.
Yeah, this is an educational podcast. This is what I want people to do.
Exactly. I might talk about that in my morning show tomorrow and see if people do it too. You never know. It'll be tough if you're driving though.
That's true. You see people driving with their feet up on the steering wheel. It's like, no, he was fucking right.
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah. You better watch out for drivers tomorrow.
That's right. Man, I feel educated now. Thank you. Thank you very much. You've always taught me lots of things, G. And now you've taught me the word skinfluencer. And now you got me thinking about how fast I can think for my toes to move.
It's crazy.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, G. Well, I think we've taken up enough of people's time.
I think so. I think they're educated now too. They feel better. They're going to go out and they could win a game of Jeopardy now.
Totally. They're going to conquer the world.
Yes.
Okay. Conquer Saskatchewan. Okay. Conquer their house. Okay. Just conquer your room that you're in right now.
Okay. Just wake up tomorrow. That's all I ask.
There you go. That's it. There we are. Just, you don't got to set that bar high. Always set the bar high. Awesome. All right, man. Well, thanks for doing this, and we'll catch up again soon.
All right. Later, man.
Well, that was almost better than the smell of a freshly harvested field after it rains, eh? Almost. This has been the Bunnyhug Podcast, hosted by Grant Dick and Jason Blank, with production assistance from Scott Mitchell. He's basically the 13th man. We, pay him in Pilsner. Hey, who wrote this? Subscribe wherever you get your favorite podcasts, and search for the Bunnyhug Podcast on Facebook. Produced by Blankman Productions.